How to make a voting system. You will need a timer device, switch, button, score manager, trigger, item granter, HUD message device, random number generator, and a pulse trigger. First, place the timer device outside of where your map is. And go to all options, change the duration to how long you want the voting time to be. I put 30 seconds. Next, put started game start to on, and can interact to no. Next, place a switch where you want your voting system to be. Then go to all options. First, go to sound and change it to disabled, and allow interaction to no. Then change store state per player to yes, and check state at game start to disabled. Next, place a button next to your switch, and go to all options. Then change trigger sound to disabled. Next, if you want, change the interaction text to whatever you want. I put the gun. That will be for this vote, and change the interaction radius to what you like. I put 0.5. Next, place a score manager just behind your button, and switch. First, rename it from Score Manager to Score Manager Visible. Then go to all options and change score value to 0. And score award type to no. Next, change score change when activated to 1 and minimum score to 0. Next, change maximum score to the maximum amount of people. That can be in your map. You can change this by going to My Island and then Game. And change max players to whatever you want. I put 16. Next, go back to the Score Manager and change Visible in Game to only number. Next, put Send Event on Scoring to the same number as your maximum score, and change Play Audio to off. Next, copy that same Score Manager and put it outside your map with the timer device and rename it to Score Manager Tally. Next, place a trigger outside your map, but away from the other devices outside your map. Go to all options and just change both trigger VFX and trigger SFX to off. Next, place a item granter outside your map, but away from the trigger with the other devices. Go to all options and change receiving players to all. And grant to all items. If you want, put equip granted item to yes. This will make the players hold the guns when chosen. Next, place a HUD message device and go to all options. And change the message to what you want. The message will show after a loadout has been chosen, so put whatever the loadout is wins. I put pump wins. You can choose the rest of the display settings yourself. Next, place a random number generator next to the trigger. And go to all options, change value limit to the amount of options you want for people to vote for. For example, I have 3 different loadouts to vote for, so I put the value limit to 3. Next, put the winning value to 0 and the roll time to 0. Then pick each number once to either yes reset on game or yes reset on round. Depending on how often you want people to vote, I put reset on game. Then put the zone direction to whatever way makes the trigger be in its zone, like how this looks. Next, change the height to 0.5. Then change the length to whatever you need. Mine is 1.5 because 0.5 makes 1 section, and I need 3 sections because I have 3 loadouts to choose from. 1 trigger will fit in 1 section. Then change play audio to off. Next, place a pulse trigger right beside the random number generator and go to all options and change loop infinitely to on. And the length, width and height to 0.5. Then the zone direction to whatever way makes it on the random number generator. Mine is left. Next, go to your button and go to Events. And put on Interact Send Event to switch, check state, then go to your switch. Then Events and put on Check Result Off Send Event to switch turn on. Then also for on Check Result Off Send Event to Score Manager Tally and Score Manager Visible, activate. Then go to your score manager tally, which is the one outside of your map, and go to Events, then on Score Output send event to HUD message device. Show a item granter, grant item, timer device, disable, pulse trigger, stop sequence. Next go to your trigger, and go to on triggered send event to Score Manager Tally, activate. Then go back to your map where your voting system will be, and select your button, switch, your visible score manager. Then go outside your map and also select your trigger, HUD message device, item granter, and the tally score manager. Make sure to select all of these in one go. Then press copy and watch where your trigger is, making sure it aligns within the white lines of the random number generator. Next go back to your original switch and go to Events. Then on Check Result Off send event to Switch 2, turn on, and Switch 3 turn on. Then go to your second switch and go to Events, then on Check Result Off send event to Switch, turn on, and Switch 3 turn on. Next go to your third switch and go to Events, then on Check Result Off send event to Switch, turn on, and Switch 2 turn on. Next go to your third score manager tally, which is the one outside your map, and go to Events, on Score Output send event to Trigger, disable, and Trigger to disable. Next go to your second score manager tally, which is also outside your map, and go to Events, on Score Output send event to Trigger, disable, and Trigger 3, disable. Next go to your original score manager tally, which is also outside your map, and go to Events, on Score Output send event to Trigger 2, disable, and Trigger 3, disable. Then go to your timer, which is outside your map, and go to Events, on Success send event to Pulse Trigger, start sequence. Next, drop your loadouts into the item granters. You can drop multiple items into the item granter, but I just put one gun. Then go to your HUD message devices and change the message so the item granter and messages match. Lastly, do the same for your buttons, making sure the interaction text matches the item granters. This is how it looks in game. As you can see, I voted for attack, and after 30 seconds it is given. Don't worry, you will not be able to see the random number generator like how it's visible on the left. I just forgot to change the height. This is what happens if there is a tie on the votes. As you can see, I vote for a Havoc and someone else votes for attack. The random number generator will randomly choose one of the loadouts.